Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tea, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Levi Schmidt and Sunny Little with the Odd Fellows. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. So Odd Fellows, every time I see this name, admittedly, I'm like, ooh, is that a play that's coming to town? Is that right? Totally different. So let's explain a little bit what the Odd Fellows are. And to be clear, this is the Quincy chapter 357, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so Odd Fellows, take it away, Levi.
So we are a fraternal organization that's actually nationwide and even international wide. So we've been here in Quincy for 3 years now. This is coming up on our 3-year anniversary.
Okay.
So.
And then if I were to take kind of a snapshot of what you are in our community or kind of what the chapter is or who you are, what does that look like?
I would say it's somewhat of a broad picture you would get. We've done a variety of things, whether it's helping out other organizations that are fairly established, like the Quincy Neighborhood Federation. They do all their drives for back-to-school kids, backpacks, all the school supplies. We've also done things as far as cleaning gutters for an elderly lady who lost her husband. We've donated to GoFundMes that we've found that are going to the actual families, whether it's a family that had their kid premature across the country, just various things. We do a lot of stuff with, just labor-intensive stuff as well, shoveling snow for people who have mobility issues to get to doctor's appointments. It's kind of a variety of things.
But fair to say humans helping humans, especially in our community, is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Whether it's monetarily or just volunteer, whatever.
Yeah, so now are you all volunteers as members?
Yes, we do try that. There are members that don't have as much time, so they try to give money into things or any way they can. So.
Right. Okay, so what do the Odd Fellows stand for? Or how did it originate? Kind of what's the history of it? Do you guys know?
So originated in 1819 in the United States. So it, first of all, was in Britain, Europe area. Came here in 1890, I believe Thomas Wadley. Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote you, okay.
But
we won't.
Came here, and then it's kind of like men always kind of gravitate towards a fraternal type of group. We're always looking for hanging out with other guys. Our group especially is trying to elevate each other to be better men at all points in time, whether that's husbands, anything, boyfriends.
Sure.
And then our FLT is our thing, so that's friendship, love, and truth. And so those are our main mottos of what we do. And semi-secret organization, not really.
Right, I was going to say, you're not very secret anymore, guys.
we're not very secretive. So.
It's marketed as one, but really the only quote-unquote secret thing is the lodge meetings.
Sure.
But even then, the minutes can still be posted. It's more of a fun thing to be like, we're a secret organization.
Initiation and
we do have that.
See, it's cool. I like the mystery of it. Now, you mentioned men. Is it only open to men?
Our group right now is only men.
It's only men, but it's open to everyone. So if I wanted to come to be an Odd Fellow, I could do that. We
do have a female group that's called the Rebeccas that is actually part of the Rebeccas.
I didn't know that.
They have a lodge in town. They're actually going to be at this, we're going to have an event, and they will be with us. My wife is actually one, so.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So we have that.
He's a Rebecca as well.
You're a Rebecca as well?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we judge not around here. So anyone is welcome to join. We'll talk a little bit more about what it takes to be a member and how you become one in just a second, but you brought up the event. I was looking online after I realized that the Odd Fellows is indeed not a play, right? And I was like, what are they doing here? What's cool? You have a really cool event coming up, and seems like it's right up my alley. Tell me about it.
So this is our second year of doing it. It's a whiskey auction, silent auction, raffle. It's a fundraiser to help us do the things we talked about and give back to the community. The event itself, it's a $60 ticket. What comes with that ticket is you get a whiskey glass engraved with our main sponsor, Family Eye Care, and then also our Friendship, Love, and Truth logo on it. You get dinner from Platt Daddy Barbecue, and then you'll also get, 13 whiskey and bourbon tastings.
Oh, really?
Including 3 of those would be wine tastings, pretty nice
Rebecca's
wines
are doing
that
the wine
Rebecca's
table.
are providing.
Cool.
So there's the value with the ticket is, I mean, it's a very good value if
Yeah.
you're into whiskey, bourbon, and wine
Yeah.
and barbecue.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who isn't into at least one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have it covered.
Right.
There's-
So you're getting your money's worth
Yep.
with the ticket, which is $60. And where is the event located?
Dick Brothers.
Okay.
And they will have a
Event
cash
center,
bar
yeah.
as well. Yep. At Dick
Excellent.
Brothers Brewery.
Very cool venue as well. So what day is this held and what time?
April 5th.
April
Sorry.
5th. No, you're good. April 5th. What time? Doors open?
5:30.
Yep.
Okay. And can you get your ticket at the door, or do you have to get them ahead of time?
Well, so
Trick
last
question?
year, kind of. Last year we sold, pretty much close to 200 tickets, 186 of them the day before up to the day before the event.
Okay.
And so with 14 tickets left, we didn't really do
At the
at-door
door,
tickets.
sure.
It's kind of a as goes by basis. We're looking pretty good on our ticket sales now. If there's only 5 left, then it's kind of like we might just say it's
Yeah.
sold out at that point. But right now they're available on Venmo, at Family Eye Care, at Gold Line Barbershop, at Liquor Booth on 36 and Broadway, and then at Illinois Watch Company.
Okay.
You can get them there, or like I said, we have a Venmo. You can also Venmo, and we'll have your tickets
At the door?
at the door.
Yeah, got it. But don't sleep on the tickets. It sounds like they're going pretty quickly, and with an event like this, like I said, I think it kind of appeals to a lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
and goes back to help the community through your chapter, which I think is incredible. So back to the membership. So it's open to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
What is expected of members, and kind of how do you get involved?
We ask various questions, so we're kind of looking for, are you family man, are you this? And if you're not, that's okay, but we're kind of looking for men that are wanting to be men.
Okay.
We're looking to do good in our community, do better by each other, be there for each other. We always hang out, we're always a call away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody else, we go through stuff in life, and I wouldn't know what to do without these guys, to tell you
Right.
the truth. So I think we have applications at the barbershop, and then so somebody hears about us, they do that, and then we start to interview them processes. So they're supposed to come to like 2 or 3 things, and we kind of go from there and kind of feel them out, see if they're a good fit.
Sure.
Truthfully, not everybody is meant to be an Oddfellow,
Right.
truthfully. Whether that just be they don't have enough time, or maybe it's not a good fit for them, so they need to come see us, hang out, see if they like it, and we kind of
Yeah.
go from there.
What's required though? I mean, nothing really. Whatever
Nothing.
you want to put into it. We ask a few questions in the social process he was talking about, which are, do you believe in God? And, we are a religious-based organization, but that's very wide.
Sure.
We don't.
Higher power.
Yeah, just a
Spirituality.
higher power
Sure.
more. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Do you believe in your country? Are you faithful to your country? Yes. And then the best one is, can you keep your secret?
Yeah.
If you can, will you keep your secret? And that one,
Will
is
you is
more.
definitely different
Yeah,
than
that's
can
the fun
you.
one.
Yes, yeah.
But there's really nothing required. Like he said, we have a lot of people that use it as a place to just hang out and people to call on, whether it's to go have a good time, go to the bowling alley, or just if they're needing someone to talk to. And then we also have a lot of people as well that are joined to give back to the community. So. You can join it for whatever you really want to.
Love it. Yeah, so it's basically a club where you can meet like-minded people and give back to the community through events such as this. I think it's very, very cool. Would love to talk more about it. I think that this event is, more than just helping to raise funds. It's probably a really great way to learn more about your organization and kind of get
Yes.
people, in the know about what you guys do. I think it's incredible that there are groups like this that exist, especially in our community. Keep up the good work there. One more time on the event. So it's Whiskey Night 2, right? Whiskey Nights.
Yep.
Night.
Whiskey night, the second.
Whiskey
Two.
Night 2.
Kind of like an
part
80s
two.
theme or
Yeah.
90s theme almost.
Love it. So you get whiskey, wine, barbecue. You get to help raise funds for the Oddfellows to give back to the community. It's April 5th. What time again?
5:30.
5:30 at Dick's Brother venue, which is very cool in and of itself. So sure to be a great night and all for a great cause. So definitely
Absolutely.
recommend going. One more time, where to get those tickets?
Illinois Watch Company, Liquor Booth on 36 and Broadway, Gold Line Barbershop, and then Family Eye Care.
Okay, and then you can always reach out to these fellas and Venmo them. Definitely recommend getting involved. April 5th, go check out some wine, go check out some whiskey, and definitely eat some great barbecue. Thank you guys so much. Good luck with the event.
Thank you.
Would love
Thank
to have
you.
you back on any other time. This is great. Love to learn more about what we offer
Yeah,
to the community.
absolutely. It's
Thank
fun
you
time.
guys.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, Britt B and Ash C and Coffee Talk. Stay tuned.
I feel like nothing changes if nothing changes. And it is time for a change. There's been a discrepancy in transparency over the last couple of years, especially. And the people deserve to know what is going on, where their tax dollars are going, what exactly they're being used for. And that too has been an issue. It shouldn't be a fight. It shouldn't be a question. This is how it is. You need to let us know what's going on. My name is April Azate, and I am running for City Council representing Ward 2 in Hannibal, Missouri.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
And welcome back. Now it's time for Coffee Talk with Ashley, Britt B. Thanks to EFB, we get to spill the tea, and today is no different. Thank you, EFB, for your constant support of our constant ramblings.
Yeah, they actually just decided to continue on with us.
Woo, woo, air high five.
Yes.
That is awesome. So thank you again.
And we're going to be checking out their roastery Palmyra location here pretty soon. So
Score. I love a field trip, especially somewhere delicious and fun.
Yeah.
Which EFB is. If you haven't checked it out, be sure you do.
But they fuel us.
Yes, 100%.
And they fuel
our community.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which sometimes doesn't need a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always so much, I feel like there's always so much going on. Some people get fired up for no reason.
Right now, people are fired up on needs.
Yes. And which, this is a good cause, right? This is a good discussion. I have varying viewpoints depending on the day and what I'm seeing. I know where I kind of stand. Of course, we're talking about safe and livable housing and QRILE.
Yes. That is technically going to be on the ballot on the April 1st election. And what that does is you're voting yes or no for the city council to decide if they're even going to discuss about this.
So you're voting whether or not it's an important topic to bring up. You're voting whether or not it's an important topic for the city council to be involved in. What this has done, this whole conversation, has just posed a ton more questions for me.
Yeah. I think there are definitely two issues here, though.
Yeah.
I don't think the argument but it is posed sometimes as the argument. I don't think the argument is anyone is saying that they would want to see people in unsafe living or unsafe housing.
Right.
You know, I don't think it is a moral question. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the argument. The argument, I think, is whether or not we are going to involve city government to,
police it.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think, and this is just from things that I have understood and some research, that they're already involved in ordinance violation, which does include safe structures.
Yes.
Right? Which would fall into this QRILE. So I guess it would. What is the current involvement? What does it look differently under QRILE? How does it affect rent? How does it affect supply and demand? What does it entail as far as fees? And because basically, if I'm understanding right, QRILE, what they eventually want is a registration for all landlords. So you would pay a small fee. Let's say, I think when I talked to Lisa, it was like $30, right, per unit, to be involved in this registration that registers your property, your, let's say, apartments or whatever that you're landlord of, and that helps upkeep those funds. Then are helped upkeep some of these properties, or is that just to register your property to make sure that they can go in and
Yes, I think that's just to keep it on a registry to see who is renting and who is not. I don't think $30 is going to help upkeep anything.
Right, you're right, yeah.
But I think in regards to what you were saying about the ordinances already being there, that is part of the issue. Like, we do have ordinances.
They're just not being...
They're not being enforced. The reason why they're not being enforced is because we don't have, I don't think, city employees to do that.
Okay.
So it's not just going to cost the landlords their $30. It would also,
Sure.
It would make it so the city would have to put forth.
But shouldn't they have to anyway? I guess I'm confused. If you have...
I mean,
You know what I'm
you're saying?
Because if I have in my business or in my home something that I'm responsible for and I'm not doing it, I either A, get fired, or B, things fall into disrepair. And I'm responsible to pick it up where the chips fall, right?
I guess this would fall under, the city code managers.
Do we have one?
We have, I think, a couple.
Okay. So then the question would be, let's talk about efficiency. We are always really big fans of studies. Let's talk efficiency of these departments. And if we can't uphold something that we promised to our community, we probably need to revisit that instead of having to adhere to a new group. Now, I do think that a committee is always great to kind of hold these city governments in check if we are going to have them involved in something like this. I don't know how I feel about...
I see both sides.
Yeah.
The other side that we aren't discussing is, say things do have to be up to a certain code, right? That inevitably means that rent is going to raise.
Sure.
It's going to raise to the point where maybe some of the people that are in these living conditions are now not going to be able to afford the rent.
Which is bullshit if you think about it. So if I
know what you're saying.
If I'm living in a home and this guy knowingly lowers the rent because it's not safe and rents it to me knowing that it's not safe, knowing that I can't afford anything else, that's crap. Now, does it give me a place to live? Yes, but if we had stronger standards, eventually we're going to have, eventually it's kind of like, well, best man wins. If you have the lowest rent and you're safe, this person is going to have safe and livable housing.
But no, I don't see any landlord eating or biting the cost.
Eating the cost.
The whole point of this is it's a business. You're making money. It isn't charity.
Yeah.
I do... Like, what is the alternative? Somebody wrote it in the comment sections, and it hurts to even hear it. But it's like, would you rather have your young daughter that's just graduated college and is out there on their own in a apartment like this, or on the streets. Now, mind you, I think if you have your daughter, you're bringing her back home.
Right.
But it's just...
But isn't that what Section 8 is for?
Yes, but not all Section 8 is up to code. That's what we talked about last time.
Okay, so then if Section 8 isn't up to code, then that's when government gets involved.
But the government should be the state. The state should be the one that keeps these codes up. It shouldn't fall on the city at the city level. If the state is providing these vouchers and this money to the landlords, well, to the tenants that in turn the landlords accept, then it should be on the state to check those landlords.
Right,
for
but
that.
don't they hire people to uphold the maintenance of those places? And shouldn't it be up to that person who's getting paid by the government to uphold those standards? And if they're not, then they, in turn, should be the communication back to the state, right?
But I think this should be more of a state-regulated thing if you're talking about Section 8 housing.
Well, I'm just saying there's a difference between if I'm going, unless landlords around the city are accepting Section 8, in which case, then yes, they should be held accountable to
the state.
Yes.
I don't think it should fall on city level.
Okay. So then what's that process look like? You're not going to get state people in here to inspect this. You're not going to get...
I don't know. I do think like at some point in time, if the state is providing this service, then they need to fulfill their end too.
Right. Now, if I'm a Section 8 landlord, I don't have to register as of right now?
Not with the city, but I think, you register with the state.
Okay.
Again, I do see both sides of it. I just think that, like, if, say, we do come up with this standard, it's inevitable that rent is going to raise. And what we have right now is the problem in Quincy, the housing issue. And I shouldn't even air quote it, because it is an issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, according to, I don't know.
Well, I mean... just get on your phone and look for like a place to rent. If you say you had to go find a place to rent tomorrow because an emergency happened, I can't afford it, and I hold 4 jobs.
Yeah.
You know, like rent minimum for a 1-bedroom nice place, and I am going to quote nice like this because it's not what everyone would want, is around like the average is like $1,200.
Yeah. That's
insane.
That's insane.
But if you're renting a low under $1,200 right now, it's probably because it's not.
So how much is like a typical? So these are just if I'm walking into an apartment and it's $600, what do I expect? What can I expect? Nothing? See, that's an issue for me. And I know that prices are expensive.
I don't know
but
if you're going to have indoor plumbing at that point.
Right?
I mean, I have
definitely exposed wires.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess it's a bigger issue than one committee can probably uphold, or that one registration is probably going to fix. I do think that it should be talked about. I do think that if you're not voting pro QRILE, you're voting to talk about the issue, right? Mm-hmm. Then I think we need to talk about it. I think it needs to be discussed. I don't know if that's QRILE being approved or denied as a committee, or the actions that they want to take. I do think the conversation needs to be had.
I don't think...
Is it something that needs to be had at the city council level?
Yeah, I don't think so, because I feel like... I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad, but it's like, I don't know if you want this decision in our city council hands.
What about, codes are normally checked by
the city code manager,
firefighters.
Yeah.
Like restaurants and stuff. Mm-hmm. You have codes that you have to uphold, right?
Yeah.
So then it's municipal either way you look at it. But what if you created here I go with random ass solutions. But the committee could be a committee that it's like, citizens arrest type thing. They're a committee that they're not funded by city council or the government, local government, but your landlords.
And then you're just flagged as a bad landlord?
Well, I mean, you paid this registration because I think part of it is being registered as a landlord. It's basically a business. I don't think it's a bad idea to be registered. And then to be on this register, you get incentives, such as like free postings for your apartment. I mean, there should be incentives and not just punishment. You have to look at, this is a business. So we want to provide, we want to eliminate barriers to entry for landlords, but we also want to provide, safe and livable housing for tenants, but also try to keep the cost down. So I think there's a way to do all three without the government. What does that look like? I don't know, but a private committee is it's a good start.
Yeah.
And then maybe you get, I don't know, private donors that are like, this is what we want to help. You get all the resources that come in and help people in need.
I like the idea. It's just I don't think that this is something that the government should be involved in. Like you said, it's a business, so the government should stay out of private businesses.
Yeah.
In my opinion on that. There are lots of opinions. It goes back and forth, like we say. We don't know everything, but tomorrow we will be airing a debate with our own Aspen Gegenbacher. She is going to have a member of the Q-Rile and the Landlords Association. I'm not exactly sure how the format of that's going to go, but you're going to get a lot of answers with in regards to that in that interview, I think. Yeah.
Hopefully it,
and then we'll continue the discussion because this isn't going to end at this vote, like you said.
Hopefully it starts with kind of, what the ultimate
goals for each side.
Well, not just goals, but for this, we're having this discussion prior to this vote. Keep in mind what this vote means.
Yeah.
And don't overinflate what you're voting on this time.
Yes.
Then continue the discussion so
you're absolutely right.
Knows.
Yeah. I mean, voting yes doesn't necessarily vote in the code. It votes up the right for the discussion.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure if the discussion even needs to be had because the government
not on that
shouldn't
level.
be involved.
But does the discussion, does voting yes for the discussion automatically involve the city council?
Yes.
If we
I think so,
vote
yes.
yeah. Okay.
To which what you said, like we need studies, we need this, I feel like if you're voting yes, it's going to be put in front of them and it'll be one of those rushed things, and we don't like to rush the city council. So
yeah, interesting. Well, I wish I had an answer because I know that both sides deserve. They deserve their.
I think representation, answers, and representation to the public about exactly what you're voting for.
Right.
Because we see the signs, we've heard the arguments, and like I said, the argument. It's two separate ones. It shouldn't be so much about morality as it is about the issue of government involvement.
Yeah. And if you're not going to have government involvement, who's going to take the lead on this? That's the other side of it.
Yeah.
Because you have to have an alternative. Otherwise, people are just always going to inevitably push it to the government because they're the ones who will then be kind of the scapegoat. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe we provide an alternative for having the government involved. I don't know who does that. It won't be me, but there are options. It's just you have to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I love that you always have the information.
So do you, and you always have the opinions.
I have the opinions. Opinions are like, most of them stink. I like to think that I at least try to see both sides and bring some kind of answer to the table, but it's not always feasible. But I like the discussion. I think most of the time when we have discussions, it at least, I hope, gets other people talking about it.
I open up a little bit because you know how I kind of am when I'm like,
yes.
And you make points, and then I'm like, okay, fine.
You're flexible in that, which not a lot of people are. I'm not most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, but
this job has made me that way.
Well, I commend you for that.
Thank you.
That's not a lot of people. But take a note from Britt B here, because even if you feel one way before you learn something, and then you learn something, it's not always a bad thing to kind of revisit.
And you're not wrong,
right?
Originally,
right?
Because I'm never wrong.
No, it's just learning creates more knowledge. It just is what it is. Brittany's never wrong.
On that note,
I'm seldom wrong either. But don't ask my husband or Bob. Okay. All right. On that note, thank you so much, EFB. Thank you, Britt B.
Thank you, Ashley.
Always so much fun. Coffee Talk is one of my favorite segments. So look forward to
join us next time.
Yeah. Right on
Coffee Talk.